Welcome back to the YouTube channel. As you can see, we're outside. This is actually my garden. The reason I've put you there is so you don't see the monstrosities that are hiding if you scratch beneath the surface behind me. But I thought let's get out and change the scenery. One of the reasons why I bought all of this setup with these microphones and this particular camera is so I could actually take it outside and not be restrained from what's in the kitchen. But anyway, if you like what I'm doing on here, do me a favour, give us a like, drop a comment if you've got something to say. What's the word? Subscribe. That's the one. If you want to hear more from me in various settings, and there's a bell somewhere for the notifications if you'd like to be told when more ramblings from me are coming down the track. I want to talk about productivity on this one, and I'm going to talk about the things that I do to engage that, to stay motivated, to stay persistent, and to stop the old procrastination. Do me a favour, roll them. Right, let's get straight into this, okay? I'm going to lean quite heavily into a book from Ali Abdaal called Feel Good Productivity. If you don't know who Ali Abdaal is, I'm going to tag him. Massive YouTuber, really, really amazing at everything that he does. He has written a book, published by Penguin, by the way, which is no small feat, about feeling good in order to remain productive. And it's vital. And there are various instances, various scenarios, and various things that he explains in his book in much better detail than I can give you here. But I want to talk to you about how it applies to what I'm doing. And the best way I can do that, if I can give you an anecdote, I went to the gym. That's not the anecdote. I went to the gym, and I'm in one of those gyms where if you're doing anything cardio-y, you're overlooking the wider sort of badminton court, basketball court area, you know what I mean? And I'm on this cross trainer, I'm blowing out my backside because I've done the exercise and I'm sort of just doing another 10 minutes on this cross trainer. And I look down in front of me and I see a bunch of old girls. They must have been early 60s at their youngest, late 70s at their oldest. A gaggle of them, about 8 or 9. I don't know what the collective noun is for a group of older ladies, but it's not a gaggle, but you know what I mean. And they were going through some sort of gym class. And you had the usual things like cones out, walking to one, walking to the other. And I'm standing there, well, I'm exercising there on this thing, having a little look at it. And then they start playing this version of tag. Now, they're all spread out, and you've got one tagger. If we use the language that my kids use, an itter. You've got one itter. And they're going round and they're trying to it whoever else is playing in the game. Now, if you get itted, if you get tagged, your job is now to stand there like a statue, like that. The remaining people that haven't been tagged, if they then scoop under your arm, you're freed, and away you go. So essentially, the itter has to get as many people as they can, because once you're itted, you're statued, and you're frozen, and away you go. It was a walking exercise. These girls weren't allowed to run, you could tell. But they started going through it within 10 seconds. The joy on their face was so lovely. I went over my time on the cross trainer because I was just absorbed by this. The joy. Within the first couple of minutes, they're laughing, they're giggling. The walking was out the window. They were pretty much jogging across the thing. People were scooping under with like massive exaggerated movements, laughing their heads off. You had some people like the itter at some point would corner someone because they weren't allowed to leave the ball at the badminton court, and you would see them go and sort of go into a monster. And it was just so lovely to see. You could close your eyes and these girls would be 9 again on a playground doing that with their friends. And you could just see the elation in them. The energy went up, the joy went up, the exercise levels went up, because they weren't just walking, they were running, they were dipping, they were scooping, they were standing still, they had their arms extended, they were doing all of the brilliant things that something like a game or exercise can give you. And you just know that they would have gone back home buzzing for the day. Absolutely buzzing. And whatever it was that they had left for the day, they would have had a spring in their step, and they would have been buzzing to come back next week and do it all again. And I know there's a whole other conversation about the psychology and the physiology of this, in the fact that these girls probably didn't have games so much in their 20s or 30s. They're of the generation like my mum, where you're in your 20s or 30s and your job is to have children and a family. It probably got taken away. So the fact that they're getting to do this in later life and probably harking back to their youth was just a beautiful thing to watch. And it got me thinking, that sort of mentality, that sort of thing It's the thing that motivates you. It's the thing that drives you on the day to day. We all talk about having our why, having our purpose. What is it? Is it your family? Is it the need for an unfinished loft project? Is it the need to quit your job? What is your motivating factor? That's all well and good to have in the back of your brain. But how do you get through the day to day? How do you get through another night where you're not spending it with your partner? Another night where you're missing a football game that all your pals are going to be talking about? Another night where you're missing this amazing episode, the finale of Series 17 of Game of Thrones or whatever it is these days? How do you get through that day to day? When you're sourcing Amazon products and you're in a pit and nothing you're scanning is coming up any good, or you're doing TikTok shop and you're producing post after post after post and you're getting no more than 200 views and you're getting no engagement and you're getting no sales, how is it you can then stay motivated? And the answer is to keep it fun. Make it fun. There's a reason we say to enjoy the journey, because enjoying the journey is everything. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it. You have to make it something that you look forward to. Sourcing, I say this all the time, if you're Amazon sourcing, it has to be treated like a treasure hunt. It has to be treated as a way that you're trying to unearth a little diamond that no one else can find. You're trying to find that needle in the haystack, but make it fun. Make it a game. You have to just plug in that thing that you were doing when you were 8 or 9 years old and you were looking for a Smartie and a bowl of flour. Halloween. Smarties in the flour. I love that one. It's always after the apple popping, so you get flour all over your face. But yeah, that one. Make it so you're an investigator. You're Indiana Jones. Whatever you want to do. I mean, I'm talking from a boy's perspective here. But whatever you want to do, you're the one that's going to find the thing that other people don't, because that's what stands you out. And before you know it, sourcing becomes a game. It becomes fun. It becomes something that you want to do because you like that feeling of success when you know other people would have quit because you've enjoyed it. TikTok shop, another one. You're making videos. You're getting to play with gadgets and technology that we just simply wouldn't have been able to play with 20 years ago. So enjoy it. Make fun of yourself. Be stupid on camera. I saw a brilliant bit of advice where someone said, once you've done your post, don't press stop on the recording. Keep recording and start going all crazy and then start letting it out because it's fun. Start tapping into that childhood imaginative aspect that you once had that's been beaten out of you. And it becomes fun and you enjoy the process and all of a sudden you like making videos. That fun has been beaten out of us. If you're of my generation, whether you're Generation X or whether you're a millennial, blimey, you might even be a boomer. If you're of our generations, the fun had been beaten out of us. It had been taken out of us. At a certain age, you're not a kid anymore. When will you grow up? When will you realise that life's not a game? Turns out life is a game. Turns out it is fun. Turns out you should be playing. Because those of us that are doing well are just playing. It's just a game. How many times have you heard a successful person say, oh, just stay in the game. It's just a game. That's the mentality. It needs to be. If you start taking things too serious, the weight of expectation will crush you. You need to go day by day. What's the game? What are we playing today? Let's get involved. Again, we'll go back. If 18 months ago someone said to me, you'd have a YouTube channel with 7,000 followers on it. You'd have a podcast that charts in the top 11 in the business category, beating multi-millionaires. You'd have a Facebook group that's at nearly 11,000 and overtaking established entrepreneurs. You'd have a TikTok channel that in the Amazon TikTok space is one of the biggest ones in the world. What? That weight of expectation would have crushed me. But instead, day by day, week by week, month by month, quarter by quarter, year by year, it happens because you break it down and you start having fun. The reason I did the podcast is because I love it. The reason I do the YouTube is because I love it. Look, I'm sitting here in my garden. There's so much work to be done there. But I know I'd much rather do this. It's more fun. And it just so happens it also makes me money. So it's win-win, right? Start thinking about how you can make things fun. What would fun look like in any one task that you don't like? If it's admin, what would make it fun? Set yourself a challenge. I'm going to do 5 emails in the next 15 minutes. Alexa, set a timer. See what I mean? Make a challenge, make it fun. Anyway, kind of feel like I'm getting around in circles now. Thank you so much for coming back. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, let me know what you think, please. Please let me know what you think. Give me a like as well. And then all of the subscribe, notification stuff, you know how it is. See you next time.